What is up, guys? Hooded shit. This is gonna be your friendly host with a how-to on Heavy Tractor Guy. Yeah, that's right, Heavy Tractor Guy. So today we're gonna bring us a little bit of a. Let me turn this AC down so you guys can hear me a little bit better. I don't have a GoPro right now because broke it, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to do this video on a cell phone. Oh yeah. So yeah, guys, so this is going to be a little bit of a how-to video. I'm going to try to make a couple of these how-to videos periodically on heavy equipment and off-road vehicles. First thing we have today is going to be a Komatsu 70. Yeah, Komatsu 70. Holy shit. It's not really your heavy-duty wheel loader, but it's a pretty good, decent-sized wheel loader, and it does the job. Basically, what we do here is we push tires with this big guy. Oh yeah, we use this and push tires and grind them up in the grinder. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get back a little bit to the wheel loader. I'm going to give you a little bit of demonstration of what she can and cannot do. So as of right now, in order to get this bad boy cranked up, there is a ignition key, which I had it running because it was a little bit hot out here. So I want to go ahead and have a little AC. So, but anyway, we're going to turn it back on. So in order to get this bad boy started, you got to make sure if it's in the park position. So we're going to put it in park and crank her up. So yeah, that's how you basically start the machine, which is just like a car, but without the park brake. So yeah, so you have to go ahead and turn the ignition on. We get that rolling. And if you want to take your park brake off, you go ahead and hit the park brake symbol right here. You just turn it to the left side and it turns off the park brake. Park brake goes off. Looks like we got a little light here. It's a H2 light, means it's got a little bit of a water inside the diesel here. So that's just something that's sometimes normally when you work with off-road materials, and especially when you're putting diesel from the diesel tanks, it usually forms up the humidity inside there and causes a little bit of condensation, especially when you put it inside the tank. It actually does the same thing, so it causes a little bit condensation inside your fuel tank. And normally it goes off probably about say maybe 10 minutes of runtime. It'll burn out the water and it'll shut it down. So in order to get this thing started, like I said, we got the park brake turned off, and we'll have a joystick here on the right hand side. You push it towards you, allows it to come up, which you can see the bucket's coming up, and if you push it down, and bucket comes down. Pretty simple, really not too hard with the wheel loaders. Wheel loaders are really easy to operate. It just takes a little bit getting used to with controls. So like I say, push forward, it goes down, push back, comes up. So I'll let you look at it. As I'm pushing forward, it's going down. As I'm pushing back, it's coming up. So now we're going to go ahead and want to tilt the bucket. So basically what you want to do is, if you want to tilt the bucket, you're going to go ahead and go to the left, and that's going to take the bucket and tilt it up. As of right now, I'm having the stick go to the left and it's coming towards me. Now if I want to go to the right, push it to the right hand side, and the bucket is going down. It's tipping forward. Pretty easy. Really not too much controls with the bucket controls on there. Really simple. Also, on here, you have a few extra buttons. Normally what these buttons do is, if you have a hydraulic connection, say you have like a grapple claw or other attachments that use the hydraulic systems, you would use these functions here. This button here, I really am a big fan of this. This is forward and reverse. A lot of guys like to use it on the column. What I do is there's a lock switch on this one, so what you're going to do is you would just push the lock switch in, and you can't go forward and you can't use this. This disables it, but in order to get it to go, there's actually a switch here. Mine in the dirt, we actually work in a pit, so we have a lot of dirt around here. But you got a button right here, so what you do is you have a forward and reverse button. Right now this is disengaged, but what you want to do is you will push it forward, and you'll see a little light come up on the dash where it says forward and reverse. So now this is totally functional. It's actually allowing you to go in reverse. I'll back up. As you can see, I'm moving, and if I want to go forward, I push it forward and I go forward. When you go to the center, it brings it back to the neutral position, allows it to be in neutral. So now I can't go, I can rev it up and nothing happens. So now I'm back in neutral. Same thing here. If I want to go ahead, even though with the switch on, it still allows me to go, I can go forward and reverse. So I'll go in reverse here, and it'll still allows me to go in reverse. And if I go forward, it'll still allow me to go forward. I just like to lock it in place so I don't have to use this. So it's a little bit easier to maintain, especially when you're running and depending on what you're doing. Like I say, over here we push tires and we push mud and dirt. We're actually filling a sand pit here, and it's just a lot easier for you guys to be able to control your machine as you're going forward and reverse, especially if you're picking up something. You don't have to take your hands off the steering wheel. I really don't like to take my hands off the steering wheel because I don't feel like I'm in control. If I got to take my hands off for just a brief second here, I feel like something can happen. So I like to always keep my hands on the steering wheel, and kind of just makes you feel like you're more in control of the machine. Also too, right here you have a manual, auto 2, auto 1. Basically what that is for your gearing. If you want to go ahead and put it in manual mode, what that does is it allows you functions onto your steering column. See how you have second, third, fourth, and fifth? That's actually your gear ratio. So you can actually change your gears here. But most of the time, I just leave it in auto mode. So I like to put it back in auto 1. And I'll just leave this on the steering column into gear 2, which allows you to just, basically if I'm driving, it automatically shifts. So you don't have to worry about shifting and things like that. The reason why I like to keep it in auto 1 is because it'll allow me to be in first gear. So a lot of times what happens is if you're moving around or you're doing something, I must have took something out. There we go. So as you can see, I just put it in forward, and see how it's in first gear, and it actually allows you to stay in first gear. Or like if you say you're driving a little bit faster, it'll actually shift for you. So that's why I kind of just like to leave it in auto 1. And I mean, the machine basically will tell you what needs to be done, and kind of go from there, which is a lot easier. I really enjoy that feature there. We have your normal pedals here, which is your acceleration, and then we have your brakes. Normally, these two right here, it's a clutch really. On this side is actually a clutch, but I mean, it'll actually act as a brake too. If you hit it, it won't stop like right away, but if you drop it in, it'll kind of come to like a nice chill, slow stop. And then on this side, if you really need to stop quick, fast, in a hurry, you just hit that, and it's your main brake, so it allows you to actually brake on time and kind of go from there. Then we have other features too here on this machine, which is I think it's a really good feature. It's an attachment feature. So what happens is there's actually locks inside the bucket. I don't know if you can actually kind of see it there. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit closer where you guys can kind of see what's going on. There's actually locks inside of there. If you could see the hydraulic cylinder, I'll kind of put my finger in the middle. There we go, right there where my finger's at. There's actually a hydraulic cylinder. There's a button here. I'll go ahead and zoom it back up so you guys can get a little bit better view. What it is there's a lock here. And basically if you kind of keep your eyes, let me zoom it back in. If you keep your eyes on that hydraulic cylinder, you'll see where it's going to go from chrome. It's kind of blurry. See if I can pull it back out for you guys. And what I normally do is I like to tilt my bucket all the way back. I tilt my bucket back, kind of do it maybe like once, twice, and then I'll come back up. And now you can kind of see it, let it kind of clear back up. And now you'll see that the hydraulic cylinder, where it used to be chrome, is no longer chrome. Normally there's another section on that side too. It's kind of got a tire in its way right now, so you won't be able to see. But you know, once the cylinders both go in, now you can pretty much take your attachment off. And I'll kind of go from there. See, what I'd like to do is I like to keep it in neutral. I'll keep the machine in neutral, and then I'll push forward on the machine. Once I push forward in the machine, I feel it kind of push me back a little bit. Then I'll go ahead and put the machine in reverse. I'll reverse the machine, and basically now I'm free. I'm totally free of the bucket. I can go ahead and attach forks or any other standard attachment that goes with the machine. So basically to come back in, what you'll do is you'll tilt the machine down, come down with it just slightly, kind of line up with your hose. You line up with it, then you'll just kind of pick up and then tilt back. Once you tilt back on it, what I like to do is I like to put my machine back in neutral, and I'll come up again so where I can see my cylinders. There we go. And what I do is you go ahead and you'll take the function button, click it back in gear, and you'll see that the hydraulic chrome cylinders are back in place. So even to double check, it's always best to tilt the bucket forward again. I had tires in the bucket. Oh yeah. And I kind of like to do that. What that'll do is it'll kind of give you a better idea to make sure that your bucket is firmly secured to the machine. So it just works out a lot better to do that. It's always double checking your work, because you don't want to have to be pushing something and then the cylinder might not be locked in place all the way, and then something might happen. So it's always a good idea to double check and recheck before you go ahead and take off and try to use the machine. So basically, that is the basic functions of the machine. I hope you guys really enjoy, and I will try to put out more videos for heavy equipment use, such as excavators, dozers, front end loaders, and different types of equipment that we have on my site here, and give you guys just kind of a helpful tool. Maybe it might help you guys, especially if you don't know too much about heavy equipment and you kind of want to get into that field of heavy equipment and how to operate certain types of equipment. So hope you guys enjoy. If you do, hit the like button, and like I say, if you really enjoy, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because there will be more content. This is the actual first video that I put up there. It's kind of like a test video, so I hope you guys enjoy, and if you enjoy, please hit that like and sub button. Check you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.